guys, Bella here, and I just wanted to make a quick video because a couple of interesting things have been going on for me, and I wanted to share them. The first thing is that I haven't been having the best time of it in terms of weight loss, and it's just really frustrating. I have struggled so often in the past, and I'm having those same struggles again. And it seems to be, like I've said many times, a recurring pattern with me where I do well for about 2 weeks. I can stay on program, I can eat well, I can avoid temptations, I can work out, and I can do all those things. I can log my calories and take the vitamins and get enough water and all that stuff. But then after about 2 weeks or so, I kind of peter out and I just stop doing it, or I get off track, or I have some kind of food that I shouldn't, or not that I shouldn't, but that's too high calorie. And it throws me off track and I just stop altogether with what I should be doing. Or I eat a portion of something that's just too large and I don't write it down. And so my calories in my log don't really reflect my true calories or things like that. You know the drill. And it's been like this for me for the last like 3 or 4 years. Of losing some and then gaining a little bit back, and then losing some and then gaining a little bit back. And it's like I'm just spinning my wheels. So I was talking to my sister, and she said, I recognize that this is a pattern and it's not a good one. And it's one that I really need to try and break before I get the VSG, because I'm really concerned that once I get the VSG, I know I won't be able to eat as much. For sure. Like, my portion sizes will be ridiculously smaller. But after a while, I think you are able to eat a little more. And it's the after a while part that I'm worried about, because I really don't want to stretch out this new stomach, like go through all this and then not lose as much weight as I could or gain some weight back. And so anyway, I thought that I should try to really figure out the root cause of why I get sidetracked or why I get off track. I really want to try and figure out why. And then maybe if I figure out why, then I'll be able to kind of curb it, or not necessarily prevent it, but just like maybe cope with it a little bit better once, sorry, I'm doing it on my webcam, so I just want to make sure you can see me. Just be able to cope a little bit better, or stop myself, from indulging in those behaviors and those cravings. So what I've done, one of the bloggers that I follow, not a YouTube vlogger, but an actual person who has a blog like I do, her name is All the Way, and she makes video blogs as well. Anyway, she said something on her blog the other day that really, really struck me. She said that she needed to try and figure out why she craved more than she had. And that struck me because I do the same things. And she was saying it wasn't just with food, that it was, like mostly with food, but not just with food. And I'm the same way. Like, I'm always looking ahead. I'm always thinking, what else do I want to buy? I'm always thinking like, oh, I'd like to have that, or wouldn't it be cool if I could go there or do this, or, it's not that I'm not satisfied with my life, because I am. I love my life, and I think I have a really good life overall. But especially when it plays out with food, it's always like, oh, I'm craving that thing and I need to have that thing, and that's not always good. So when I heard that from her, and then I realized, like, I am having this pattern, and I was talking to my sister, who is a social worker and is a licensed therapist as well. She said to me, why don't you go and see someone? Like, why don't you go talk to someone? And through Kaiser, I can meet with someone. They have a really good mental health department, and the copay is $15, which isn't bad at all. And I don't know how often I would go, but, and the thing is, this is a huge step for me, because not that I'm opposed to therapy, and not that like I think therapy is bad at all, because I think therapy is awesome for people and that people get a lot of help from therapy. But I myself have never really been a therapy person. I've always like tried to deal with my issues myself. And maybe that's the problem, Maybe I should have been talking to more people. I use my blog to kind of think things out, to write things out, and get the things out there. But I went through some hard times in the past in terms of one really, really bad relationship. Someone who was just basically a terrible person. And at the time, my sister had said to me, you really should talk to somebody about all the stuff that you just went through. And I said, no, I'll just deal with it myself. It's fine. I don't need to talk to anybody. And part of me is now thinking, like, maybe I should have, like maybe this is some of that unresolved stuff. I mean, I don't think it has anything, I don't know if it has anything to do with that or not. Like, I guess that's part of what I'll try to find out. So, what I've done, I called yesterday and I made an appointment, and I'm going next Tuesday for the first time to kind of like an intake evaluation appointment where the therapist will basically listen to what I tell him and what I want to talk about or what I think my issues are, and then he'll determine the course of action and how often I need to see him, and I guess not diagnose or anything, but try to categorize it so that I guess what they were explaining to me is like if you have an eating disorder, for example, there would be this course of action in this many sessions and whether or not it's paid for and blah, blah, blah. And then if you have like depression or something, then it would be this course of action. You'd see them for this many sessions per times a week or whatever, and then it would be this cost type of thing. I guess different things are covered differently. And I mean, I don't think I really have either one of those. I do sometimes indulge in binge eating, I guess, but not to the extent, like, not very often and not on a consistent enough basis that I would really categorize myself as a binge eater. I mean, I have had binges, but not in the traditional sense. I think a lot of times I just eat more than I should. And I give in to cravings, but I'm not like stuffing my face with all this food and like high calorie food and on and on and on until I feel sick. Like I don't do that. Although I mean I'm not gonna lie, like I definitely have had times, not lately, but I have had times in the past where I've had a whole thing of Ben and Jerry's and then eaten dinner and whatever. So I have had a lot of food, but not like shoveling it in and have to eat it in like this out of body type of experience that I hear other people talk about. But I mean, who knows? Maybe I have a milder form of it. I don't know. So anyway, that's a huge step for me talking to somebody, and I'm not sure, how long I'll do it for. I think the cost, like I said, is $15, which isn't that much, but I don't think I'm going to spend, $15 a week to go, because that gets to be a lot. There's other things I would rather maybe do with that money. I could go to a drop-in yoga class for $15 a week and maybe get, I don't know, have some calories burned or whatever. But, I mean, I don't know. Maybe I'll go a couple times a month. Because the other support that I am putting in place is yesterday I went to my first Kaiser weight loss surgery support group, and it was really good. I really liked it. The people seemed nice. There was a variety of people, most of whom had gastric bypass. So there was only, I think, one lady who actually had the VSG, and to be honest, I don't know if she was the best person to go by because she was just really negative. I think that's just kind of like her personality is just super negative, Nelly. Because she was complaining, so she had it in May, she said, and she was complaining that she had only lost 50 pounds. And I'm like, wait a minute, that's 3 months, because you're May, June, July, 3 months, and you lost 50 pounds. That means that in 6 months, lady, you're going to lose 100 pounds. Like, what's wrong with that? That's ridiculously fast. So I don't know but she's like, oh, it's so much slower than, than with gastric bypass. And I'm like, well, so what? Maybe you won't have as much loose skin, I mean, like, try to look on the bright side. But everything that came out of her mouth was like kind of negative. So I'm not necessarily going by her to help guide me in any kind of weight loss journey at all. But the group itself was pretty cool, and most of the people had good things to say. And the best part was I got to meet Beauty Junkie. Oh my gosh, Sylvia. I don't remember all her numbers. Beauty Junkie 83, I don't know. I'll put her link down there with all the information. But we got to meet in person, which was awesome. And she's actually the first person ever that I have met online. Like someone I met online and had like a connection with or friendly with, and then actually met in real life. So that was pretty cool. That was a really cool experience. And I hope, I have a feeling like we're going to be like kind of surgery buddies, I hope. Because I'm hoping that I get my surgery, within the next few months, and I'll let her tell you about her status with the surgery, but she's got some really good news. So, Sylvia, I hope you're making a video soon because you have a lot to tell people, right? Anyway, so the class itself was pretty cool. I mean, having gone to Weight Watchers meetings in the past, I kind of expected there to be some kind of topic for the evening that everybody would kind of talk about or share. And that didn't happen. Like, the leader just basically led. Everybody went around the room and told their name and how long they've been post-op or what their status was. Like I said, I hadn't been, and then I was still working to lose my pre-op weight. but everybody, gave their status and stuff, and then it was just kind of open to asking questions, which was fine. But I mean, I could see that getting old after a while, because it's like, okay, what if there aren't that many questions? So I wish the leader, being a teacher myself and knowing how a group dynamic can operate, I wish that the leader had led the group. You know what I mean? I wish that she had guided a little bit more and asked some questions or put things out there, topics. But whatever. So this video is getting really long. I'm not sure if I think I probably need to cut it. So I just want to mention this little flower that I have in my hair. I don't know if you can see it. It's basically my camouflage for having a really bad hair day today. So I figure you can look at the flower and not be concerned with like what's going on everywhere else. Anyway, that's basically what I wanted to update you guys. I'm trying my best to like have a renewed sense of determination and spirit, and I think with the therapy and then the support group meeting, and just really just doing it, like just sticking to the 12 to 1300 calories and really doing some kind of activity every day. I think that's really going to help me. I just need to stay with it a little more, so I am really going to try to make these videos a little more often and check in with you guys. Anyway, I hope everyone's doing well, and I will talk to you guys soon. Thanks.